So, in the last devlog, I explained how the idea of Blackheart came to be. And if you didn't see that, you should go and check it out. It's going to be a link in the description so you can click on that video as well. But this is the second devlog of Blackheart, and I wanted to go over how I conceived the characters. So, that's what I'll do is I'll pick up where I left off. Now, if you remember, I got a call from my brother. So the day after I got that call from my brother, I watched at least 6 hours of videos explaining which programs to use to create pixel art, and how to create pixel art, which size they should be, all these kind of like technicalities of pixel art. And so I decided that since they recommended Photoshop and I already had Photoshop, that I would just work with what I have. So Photoshop it was. That was the program that I decided on using to work on my pixel art. Now, unfortunately, I had to work again, so I had to go back to elementary school. And I took my sheet of graph paper with me and started sketching out everything, all the ideas that I had. The first sketch I wanted to do was like, what would an angel that lost his wings look like in sprite form? So I started sketching it. Now, the first sketch is embarrassingly horrible. Yeah. And the second sketch is actually worse. Yeah. But after that, I got in my mind what I wanted it to look like, and I loved it. Now, from Blackheart's design, I drew up more designs like the imp, and I wanted the imp to jump. And then I drew the lost soul, and I wanted the lost soul to be able to go back and forth and run into the player. These are all ideas I'm like thinking in my head, and so I drew it out. I also sketched out a few pickups, like what would the player pick up during the game. And so as soon as I got home off of work, I got to work on Photoshop, and I started making the sprite sheet for Blackheart, the angel. Now, after a few hours working with Photoshop, I was happy with what I had and decided to bring Blackheart to life in Unreal Engine. Now, this took a few tutorials, but I got him moving, and that felt like an accomplishment to me. And once I had that working, I drew a small level with an obstacle, a little spike is what I drew, to see if I could code his health in, and it worked. So after that, I started drawing level ideas and assets that I can draw in Photoshop. And lastly, I drew a few enemies and I animated their movement. So I drew the imp and I animated the imp, and I drew the lost soul and I animated the lost soul, and I even conceived another enemy, a little snake, and made the snake. I also drew a few pickups for health pickups, and I decided on one of them and I put it into the game to see if it worked, and it actually worked. Now, this was a really good stopping point for me because I literally was up the whole night till 5-6 o'clock in the morning, and I had to go to work again. So I decided, let me go ahead and get like an hour or so of sleep, and I did. And that's the end of the devlog. Thanks for joining me for the devlog number 2 for Blackheart. That's how I came up with the characters and the character design. If you want to see more about Blackheart, continue to follow this, subscribe and whatnot. And if you want to support Blackheart and its development, then check out the Patreon page, which I left a link below. It's patreon.com/QuinnFullGames. And yeah, again, just thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you want to play this game when it comes out. So have a great day, everybody. Peace.